Hey everyone, JCS StarCraft here, bringing you Game 4 of the Go4SC2 number 31 Cup finals between Naama and cHoBo. Action getting started here on Delta Quadrant, and Naama going to be spawning as the blue Terran in the bottom left corner. cHoBo going to be spawning as the red Protoss in the bottom, wait, did I say bottom? Okay, bottom left. This is left. Bottom right corner for cHoBo. Apologize if I am getting that wrong off the bat. My sense of direction all getting thrown off. And right now cHoBo is up 2-1 in the series. And both players showing some very strategic play from both sides. Kind of a very interesting match to watch. Both of these players are very active in StarCraft 2 and have been since the beta. And very, very strong players right now. Naama ranked number 22 in the world according to the SC2 ranks. SC2ranks.com website, which kind of gathers all the Battle.net scores and all the points and ranks everyone according to their world and region. A really cool site to check out. The number one ranked right now is Davey, who is David Kim, one of the Blizzard players, the community player who was in all the original, who also seems invincible in all the original beta cast, the four casts that were given. So I am always looking and trying to find replays of Davey if anybody has them. I mean, he plays a lot of games, so I assume that a lot of his opponents might have it as well. Supposedly he isn't allowed to participate in tournaments because he does work for Blizzard, but maybe one day if he leaves Blizzard, which I don't think he ever will, because why would anyone leave Blizzard? That's like the greatest job in the world. But if he ever decides to do it, would be a very, very strong StarCraft 2 player. He is number one in the world, and he plays random, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. He has something like a 60% win rate, and it looks like Naama lucked out and scouting his opponent out right away, while cHoBo had to go all the way around the map, but now knows exactly where Naama is for sure. A guaranteed, no doubt in his mind. And cHoBo going to be coming out here. What is going to happen in this game? Looks like a pretty standard opening from both players. Gateway into Robo. No Zealots going on right now, because you don't really need a Zealots if you're not going to rush. You know, your opponent's not going to come in at you with one Marine. Or even if he does, your Chrono boosted Stalker is probably going to be out by that time. Naama, meanwhile, just kind of scouting things out, making sure that his opponent isn't doing anything crazy or out of the norm. And both players going to be establishing. Going to be interesting to see what Naama does. He has gone bio, he has gone 111, and some more pager code stuff that I don't understand. For 115, 115, 51. I should probably talk like that for the rest of the game. There was a pause that happened right there, which is why there was a vomit of a splurge of text across the screen on messages. And bunker going down for Naama. Naama going to be trying to hide away his factory right now. Doesn't really want his opponent to know exactly what he's up to. cHoBo, I think, playing very pretty standard, and going to be taking his. Was going to start working on the debris, or just kind of scouting things out, making sure that there's no sneaky bunker or anything in here too. Delta Quadrant, a very interesting map, as your natural, I guess you could call it, has the debris there to break down, and they have these cliffs. So even if you take it, you can get harassed, especially by Terran units who can siege up their tanks. There is another, I guess, natural number 2 right outside your base, which has a pretty wide choke point, and you know, again, can be harassed from, I think, the same side of cliffs. Maybe the tanks can get out there too. So right now cHoBo going to be going 2-gate Robo and getting that observer out as soon as he can across the map. Second command center going down for Naama, and I don't see a starport. Looking at the production tab, looks like he's going to be focusing on getting those tanks and getting that expand out. This lone Marine going to be blasting away at the debris. Going to be bored for a very long time. I mean, this is fun though, because he can just shoot at this forever with an endless series of ammo being pumped out. So Naama, I think, going to be kind of getting that siege early so that he can hold against a potential 5-gate, which happened to him in the last game. Now the tank and the Marine are going to trade places. The Marine goes back into the safety of the bunker with the fellow Marines. I think he's telling the story about how Naama tried to make him take down the destructible debris by himself, and he was unable to do so. So sad Marine. Naama throwing down a scan. I assume Naama doing a great job kind of catching and keeping an eye out for the observer, which he sees and runs into his base, and using his scans to take those out. So denying his opponent from really getting too much of a scout on. And at this point, I don't think, taking a look at cHoBo, has he seen the factory? No. So, you know, Naama just doing a great job, has not seen the fast expand from his opponent either. And debris still up for cHoBo. This is a little bit risky for Naama at this point. I think he did get that early siege tank so that he could hold down the front. But his opponent is one basing right now, and looking at the army count, 53 over 45. If Naama can hold off that first wave, that first attack, I think he'll stand a very good chance as his economy will really start pulling ahead of his opponent. Is this SCV temporarily trapped? No, it's not. It's going to get out there. It's just hanging around, kind of relaxing after building that entire building by itself. Kind of complicated for the SCV. But the SCV doesn't really do much. It looks like these mechanical arms are doing most of the work for it. And cHoBo now going to be taking his expansion, although Naama will be ahead for a bit, especially with those mules and pulling ahead in his economy. Is able to siege down right now. But because I think cHoBo not going to attack, how much has he seen at this point? Still has been unable to see very much in the base of Naama. Naama going to be getting Vikings right now. So interesting. Maybe... let's take a look at Naama scouting. He is trying to scout with this SV, trying to check for the expansion here, although I don't think cHoBo's going to expand there anyways, or maybe just trying to make sure that the units aren't coming out and trying to detect, and maybe he can actually see the movement. No, he won't be able to see the observer movement going down there. So cHoBo going to be getting his expansion up. He has gotten a Colossus, so yeah, it looks like Naama has been able to scout it out by throwing down some scans, and gonna get this Viking in here to, wow, a lone Viking. Naama not afraid to send his units to do anything like destroy rocks by themselves or take out, where did that Viking go? Try to take out this Colossus while catching it off guard, and in comes this observer. Will Naama see it? You can see that kind of ghostly, transparent, translucent, and here it comes, trying to hunt it down. No Raven up in the air yet. But cHoBo now seeing everything that's going on, realizes that he might have been able to make an earlier push, but nothing from his opponent to begin with. Figures his opponent is turtling in his base, taking up his expansion, setting things up, and these Vikings are on a hunt for that observer. Will they find it, or are they just checking out, making sure there's no crazy cliff action going on? Here comes the push from cHoBo at this point. I think he realizes that he's slightly behind. Not too far behind, actually, but Vikings going to get caught off a little bit. Will they go down from these two stalkers? No, they won't. They will be able to pull back. And cHoBo does know that there are Vikings in the air. Needs to be very careful. He doesn't have that many anti-air units on the ground. Really, just looking at his unit composition, he has 4 stalkers and one sentry. Not sure if I think he's not sure if he wants to push in now that there are Vikings in the air. He assumes that his opponent has turtled in with tanks and deciding to retreat at the moment, bulk up on some more units, get a few more things out. Going to be getting some more Colossus at this point. So should be a pretty interesting battle. I think he expects his component, although it is mostly marine tanks for Naama. A bunch more tanks coming out. No more need for that supply depot. Might mean that Naama is going to try to press forward a bit. We'll see what he does soon. Kind of not super interesting action on this map. Both players just kind of bulking up their armies the best that they can, and we're probably going to see one major battle happen. Naama now going to be poking out with the Vikings. Really wants to try to catch those Colossus off guard, although they are surrounded by these stalkers. There are a ton of Zealots. They don't have speed upgrade right now, and looking at the production tab, Stim finally going down. +1 armor for Naama as well. Psystorm being researched for cHoBo, so getting both sides of it, Templars and Colossus, every which way you can think of to fry any sort of ground unit. Combat already researched in +1 for the Marines. Looks like Naama's going to be pushing out at this point. Armies are actually pretty even, so it really depends on whether or not cHoBo will be able to catch the tanks off guard and unsieged. Right now cHoBo does see the scan going down, senses that his opponent is about to push in at this point. Vikings trying to take their very best, as many shots as they can. cHoBo actually not in a good spot right now. This Templar Archive might fall before the Psystorm is researched if he can gain sight with that, and the Vikings will provide it. Looks like, will he get it in time? No, it shuts down right before it's about to finish, so no Psystorm for cHoBo. Very lucky timing for Naama at that point, and just barely able to get it off in time. So now the Colossus are going to start pushing in, but there are a ton of tanks out here. And will it be enough? Will these Colossus be enough? No, everything just going down to the tank fire. This is going to be game from cHoBo, and a GG from cHoBo. A good job, I think, from Naama for trying to hide his buildings as best as he could. Made his opponent commit to the Robo facility, and if you do go Colossus versus tanks, you have to be very, very, very careful when you do that. So great game from Naama, and going to be casting. He has tied the series up 2-2. Going to be going on to the ace match. This has been JCS StarCraft signing off.